Hey, Captain Ryan. Happy Lionsgate.
Hey, happy Lionsgate.
Here is the question for the podcast. Are you ready?
Yes.
Who have you become since this time last year?
Man, last year at this time, I was going through it. Like, I guess you could say everything just peaked for me. Severe pressure, stress. It was, it was a lot. I mean, a lot that I don't even want to get into that was going on. So at this time last year, I was just like overlooking my health, and I wasn't like thinking much about it. All I was thinking about was how am I going to catch more fish, and when I kept thinking about how I was going to catch more fish, the ideas weren't spinning up to me. So then it all peaked. It all started last year in August. I quit caffeine. I didn't quit coffee, but I quit energy drinks. I quit Diet Coke completely. All soda gone, and then with that, no ice cream, and it's been a year with no ice cream, and you know what? No cravings. Now the first 3 months were good, but what have I become since? I have to say, when all that fog cleared, and it took a while and a lot of work with Melinda, and to get the fog to clear through all this. And today I sit here, and I would have to say I'm my emotions. I can manage my emotions. I would say 90% better. I've lost a ton of weight. I don't have any cravings for like all that stuff I just said. It's gone away. And what's so great about it is I have been able to know, like, what's the word for it? I've had different things come into light about different fishing techniques as far as what I needed to do for the summer that just fell into place. So that all came with clearing the brain fog. And I have to say I'm just much more relaxed. I'm having a little bit more fun now than I was last year at this time. A little bit more fun.
Yeah.
I was not smiling. I was not happy.
Sure.
And I'm working at it every day. I've just learned that, and since last year, a lot of things came like into light with me about people and pedestaling, and there were some things that occurred that brought light to individuals that were in my life that I really didn't know that they were like that, and it was good that came out. It was good for me to realize, so I could just move on from them 100%. And I learned how to managing my emotions more, and it's challenging, it's for what I do for a living and at home. And there's always those two things. There's always that guy on the water and that guy on the dock. And I didn't want to be that type of person anymore. I just wanted to be Ryan, and I wanted just to do my thing. So this, I would have to say, out of all these years, I finally have reached some peace as far as being the guy on the water and the guy at home. And I have to work on that every day. And now I see it myself in being more productive. I have some solid relationships now, and I'm just able to work through things and see things from a different light. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. There's a lot more to it, but that's just the top side.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing all that.
Yes.
Wow, that was huge and not what I was expecting, but that's very positive, and thank you. If you are not familiar with us, if you are just finding us, my husband is Captain Ryan Van Fleet. I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and I am an expert in pattern intelligence. I apply this to my clients in terms of helping them see things, but also really helping them see things and develop these skills themselves. And basically what Ryan just kind of shared with you was the result of that and getting through resistance which we finally broke through last Lionsgate. And if you don't know what Lionsgate is, I highly recommend just do a quick Google. I'll just tell you this quick topside piece. It starts officially July 28th and it goes through, I believe, August 12th. The high peak everyone always talks about is 8/8, but it's really a window. And in my experience, because I really pay attention to this every single year, I'm obsessed with Lionsgate. I'm not obsessed with New Year's Eve. I'm obsessed with Lionsgate because it's a portal, and portals do exist. This may not be in your belief system, and that's okay. But portals of time, portals in the earth, like this is a thing, portals in the universe. And to maximize a portal and be aware of a portal is just really important. And unfortunately, a lot of people out there just kind of make it very like, oh, manifestation, but it's bigger than that. And you really have to do the internal work in order to have the things you want manifest in your life. The internal comes first. So last year during this time, we were really having a reckoning with things we were no longer going to tolerate in our life. And a lot had to do with relationships, business, family, different work situations, so many red flags that finally I was like, oh my gosh, the red flags are just like everywhere. I can't stop seeing red flags on things. And a quote that I had found in May, which was, truth can last in a world built on illusion, finally like hit me, like, why was that quote shown to me? And it just really all came to light. So I really appreciate everything Ryan shared, because one of the pieces was pedestaling. That was huge. And really understanding what pedestaling is and working through that. And health was a huge thing. And because Ryan made a commitment, I also followed suit with changing my eating habits. And that was really important. So I think that if you're someone new to understanding what Lionsgate is, this is such a great opportunity to have a little bit of a wake-up call as to where you are in your life's journey, right?
That's right.
And I document it every year. I mean, I'm a journaler anyways, in terms of journaling, like what happened for the day. I don't journal like how most people talk about journaling. I just kind of keep a record, let's say, more like a diary. It's not a diary, but whatever. And so I went back through last Lionsgate and was like, oh, wow, this time of year, last year, all these reckonings happened with things that we just were not going to tolerate anymore. And they just all came to light.
That's right.
And we made choices together as a couple that we were going to make these changes, and we stuck it out. We stuck through these changes.
That's right.
And I really believe that as a couple, you can evolve faster when you're on board with this and you really understand pattern intelligence and really stay committed to this and having these conversations with truth and honesty every day in order to move the needle.
Yep.
And we moved the needle pretty big, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would say so. I would say that this past year was the biggest, fastest needle movement, and I'm just really proud of us. I am really proud of us. So focusing on energetic alignment, letting go of resistance, which means, cutting some ties with people and cutting ties with food and cutting ties with activities.
That's right. Yeah, it's like it's, you have to make changes, and we made changes. So, and they were, in some cases they were very, very drastic changes. And I'm okay with it, to be honest with you. And I highly suggest that, it's like, I made it was funny, last year is like, it's like reveling in someone else's pain.
Oh, reveling. Oh,
Let's talk about reveling. I want to talk about reveling. And I think that is like...
This was a big red flag that I really saw someone reveled in something. And that was, thank you for reminding me of that.
Reveling.
One.
If you are reveling...
Someone was a reveler in our lives.
Right. And I see this. And when I see someone, I was seeing people that I thought that I respected, that were very professional. Then I started seeing them reveling And when I see reveling happen online in comments, I really can see I see issues with that individual, and I'm like, I don't want that person in my life. So reveling is bad. So we had some instances.
But
I think reveling is really
no,
shitty.
no, no.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Sorry, I said that wrong. Scratch that. I was gonna say I don't know if people really understand what reveling is.
Okay,
That's what I meant to say.
So Melinda's going to
Sorry,
explain
I got
reveling.
a little tongue tied because Ryan's correct. How do I describe reveling? So let's say if you tell someone that you had a bad day, and that person kind of celebrates in that. To be honest,
Yeah.
they kind of celebrate in that. They may go tell their friends. They may, then you become the pool time conversation that person's talking about you. And that's kind of a generalized thing, I would say. A generalized way to explain that.
That is a generalized way to explain it.
Oh, for example, here's an example. So we had some engine problems 2 weeks ago, right?
Yep.
And the two mechanics, let's call them mechanics just for simple terms, at the marina came to help you, which was amazing.
Yep.
Our full-time mechanic, Scott, he came a little bit later to help you, and that was amazing. But what happened in between were two people that one we say hi to once in a while and one we never talk to, all of a sudden came over and was like, oh, haha, I have an engine problem, is right? And that's reveling. That's right. A good idea of reveling.
And then they showed their colors.
They show their colors. So that's what reveling is.
That's
so if
reveling.
you are someone out there, if you do that, I'm showing you this so you don't do it anymore. And if it's someone in your life that does this to you, you definitely want to check that relationship. And I'm just being very direct.
The first sign of
that
reveling
was,
if I get any sort of reveling from anyone, that is like my red flag to say, I'm not going to deal with this person.
Yeah. And reveling can come up too. So how it came up for me, that was this huge red flag, like second to last red flag, was in the question they asked me. So they had something similar to celebrate, let's say, and I celebrated it without any jankiness. I was very happy. We had something happen for us, and instead of celebrating, it became a janky question that was asked 2 times in a row. So that is in that same energy of you're not really supportive. Does that make sense? That's what it shows you. Right. It shows you that you're not really supportive. So then you have to say to yourself, well, why am I tolerating this behavior from somebody? Why is this person in my life? Why would I tolerate this type of behavior from somebody? And where is that illusion? And that was the contemplation that I had during this time last year, and then made a decision after. Right.
And it's funny is that social media has like really heightened reveling. Like, you're looking at somebody that like when you videotape someone and they have like engine problems, and then all of a sudden they post that person having engine problems, and then when you jump on and you revel in that person having engine problems, that is not a good trait. That is not a good thing to do. It's just like, that is bad juju.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we're good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to make it like real, because it's a big deal to me.
It is a big deal because energetically, huge. And what I think is important to say, just to tie this up, is that's then energetically in your field. It's energetically in your field from why are you tolerating it from somebody, or if you're doing it, you're putting it out there, right? So you have to also be mindful of the mirror. So, and that's was like a lot of contemplation I did last year, was like, okay, did I do this too? Like, where did I do this? And maybe I did it in the past, like, and just really reckon with this, right? But I wasn't doing it during this time frame for sure. So, and that's just a radical truth. That's radical truth and honesty in terms of like how are you showing up in your behavior and where does it end up getting reflected back to you.
Yep.
So you do have to like look at that and just know there's time distortion in that. But as long as you're, I feel personally, if you're being honest and you're having an semblance of truth around that and exploring that too, I think then that's fair. But you still also have to make a choice.
Yes. Yep.
So
And I've done the same thing. So I had to really during.
mm-hmm.
It's one of those things.
Yeah. So we really celebrate milestones that are internal rewiring during Lionsgate. It's never been a celebration of a lot of external, even though I can even say that, we moved here. We left Minnesota in August, end of August in 2009. So during Lionsgate of 2009 even, we were going through change because we were selling everything. We had made the decision to move. So to me, it's just fascinating when I look at every single year. And a couple of years ago, I did a big video series. I think every day during Lionsgate, I did like a little video that said like something from the year before that was a Lionsgate situation. But it's really fascinating. So I truly suggest, if you're interested in this, if you are someone who's interested in really understanding how you change from year to year, use Lionsgate as a benchmark.
Yeah.
And take out a journal right now and sit and go, what am I going through? What am I going through emotionally? What am I going through with my health? What am I going through with my relationships? What am I going through with my relationship to, and this goes on so many levels here, yourself, to others, to your spouse, partner, to your money, to business, to God, source, energy, however you want to bucket, a higher power. And really like keep like a little journal, and then I don't know if you journal then throughout the year, that's cool. If you don't, you just make this a once a year thing to see how far you've come. I think that that's just like really exciting, and I celebrate you and your success too.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Very cool.
So it's more of an internal milestone, right?
It's more internal, and the better you feel internal, the more progress you make on the outside.
That's so true. That's so true. Because the more you tolerate things that violate your standards, the more your identity starts to organize around accepting less. And that is a key component to all of this. Is the more you tolerate what violates your standards, the more your identity starts to organize around accepting less. So if you use this time frame productively to look at what you're tolerating, look at your standards, really do a deep dive on this, really start to get your thoughts around this in terms of pattern intelligence, I'm telling you, next year you will be in a whole other place and you'll be so proud of yourself. And I'm celebrating your success for that now. And if you're interested in working together, I have private, confidential, one-on-one options, whether they're a 45-minute session, a 90-minute session, 3 months, 6 months, or a year, whatever type of commitment. But I can help you start to move through this because, like most people, there's a lot of conditioning that has happened, especially if you're a Gen Xer, especially if you're a couple. There is a lot of conditioning that has happened to you, for you, over your life, with your family, with your business, if you're in the corporate world or just a job, any type of job, really, there's conditioning. There's conditioning from society. There's conditioning from social media. There's conditioning from your family in relationship-wise that we tend to just like settle for. We tend to just be like, oh, I'm just going to let this go because of this person is this person. And that is tolerating. We don't need to show up like that anymore. And that's going to hold you back.
Absolutely not. I don't tolerate anything anymore. I really don't. And I'm so much what's the word for it? I'm so much better.
Oh, and just so you know, too, I'm the one that handled the two guys at the dock. One of them, I said, please be quiet. Yep, I said that. I said, please be quiet. And the other one, when he made a remark, I said to him, I said, we're actually having a really good day. And he just looked at me. And it's true. We ended up having a really good day.
Yeah.
It was a great outcome to the day. It's actually quite magical what ended up happening.
Yeah.
So even though we had engine problems, it ended up like completely working out in our favor.
It worked out in our favor, and it was like on a Saturday morning in the Keys, and everybody's like, "Well, nothing's going to get done." I go,
it all got done by 10:30.
It all got done by 10:30, and you know what? That just comes with all the work that we have both done.
Yes, you are correct.
To get what happened.
Mm-hmm. To handle that high pressure situation.
To handle that high pressure situation.
On a 95-degree day.
Yep, 95-degree day. Been working at it since 4 o'clock in the morning in the dark. And I had people in my life that I could call that were there for me.
Yeah, and we're very appreciative.
And I was very appreciative, and they were there.
Yep, and it all worked out.
Yep.
So anyhow, our information will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this podcast if you think it will help someone else. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we share so much. We share from the heart in terms of our stories. And I appreciate how much my husband shared at the beginning of this, because he definitely has done so much work, and I'm so proud of him. I love you very much, honey.
Oh, I love you too.
So if you are a couple out there and you're struggling with communication, please reach out to me. I can help you. I am not a therapist. I don't do therapy, quote unquote. I help you on a whole other level. And please feel free to follow us. And let's have Ryan wrap it up.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram at goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys. My website is goodkarmasportfishing.com. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.
Thanks again.